Well, it's definitely the calm before the storm as the Saints are going to head to Dallas on Sunday and Hurricane Francine heading towards Terrebonne Parish next 24 hours. So I'm Tim. Let's talk Saints real briefly. Um, Unfortunately, not going to have a lot of time this week. Uh, it's Tuesday around almost 2 o'clock. So kind of done what I could do on reviewing the Carolina game. Going to take a stab at just throwing a little bit out there for Dallas, um, because right now I'm actually taking a little brief break from getting ready for Hurricane Francine coming. So hopefully that won't be bad. Hopefully I'll be back around well before kickoff on Sunday. Um, but we'll wait and see what happens. So in the meantime, so we kind of wrapped up the Panthers already. I think there's just not a whole lot to say about the game other than we took care of business in every phase of the game, and that's good. Won convincingly, that's good. You got something to build off, that's good. Flush it. It's been over 24 hours. Let's move on. Look at Dallas, which I hadn't had a whole lot of time to do. Don't really know what's going on with the injury reports or anything right now. But I will tell you this. And Jason and I talked a little bit about it Sunday night after the game. But basically, when you're kind of looking at five things that went on in that game, they all travel well in the NFL when you're on the road. You know, defense getting off the field on third down with efficiency. Now, I'm not expecting 10% again. That's insane. But doing your job, getting off the field, getting stops, having an effective running game, which we did all day. Efficient quarterback play, first off, but more importantly, while you're being efficient, every now and then when you're seeing the deep shot and able to take the deep shot. Um, Winning the turnover margin, absolutely, and winning on special teams. And we basically did all five of those things convincingly against Carolina. Doubt seriously if we're going to win all five convincingly against Dallas. But the point is, you catch them on the right day and you can win most of those categories. You can stay in the game. You can hang with them. Might be able to sneak out of there with a victory. Um, so it's not impossible. Talent level wise, I think you'd be hard pressed right now to look at Dallas and look at the Saints and go, they're even. I think Dallas is a little better in some spots, but Saints, I think in the key spots where Dallas is better, wide receiver. I mean, they're going to roll out CeeDee Lamb, which is a problem. Brandon Cooks would still hang around making big plays in the NFL, but we've got the corners to kind of match up there. I think the biggest issue where the difference is their defensive line is as good as our defensive line. However, I think their offensive line is better than ours. And that just might be the tipping point in talent. So if you don't take care of and try to steal some of these other five categories and you play a straight up game, even, where you're not winning or it's back and forth and what very close in those categories, you gotta snatch a couple convincingly, help flip things around. Um, I'd love to give you a prediction on Tuesday afternoon. There's just no way I can. I feel better about going into Dallas Sunday than I did at any point in the preseason or leading up to the Carolina game, looking ahead at the schedule as much as we're not supposed to. I peaked and went, man, we got two brutal games in a row. Going to be a tough road game in Atlanta and then a tough road game in Kansas City, all on the front end of your schedule. You're like, but you got the big win, got a little confidence. That team looked confident, and I get it. They were beaten up a not very good team, but they looked like they were having fun. They were relaxed. They were loose. They were easy. All that plays in the NFL when you're on the road and you can make some plays, quiet the crowd. We've seen it teams do it to us in the dome over the last few years. So it's not without hope. But if I was absolutely forced to pick right now, in all honesty, because it says real Saints talks for real Saints fans, I'd probably have Dallas favored by at least a score right now. But that's not to say the Who Dat Nation can't come out, um, give them a little support in Dallas, and the team can't show up and catch. We know Dallas can lay some real stinkers. They've done it over the years when they've had really good teams and they bumble into a regular season game, whether at home or on the road, and they just look bad and they get beat. That's always a possibility with Dallas. I don't think it ever really happens against us, but who knows? This might be our turn to catch them on the downslide. We're on the upslide. We get in there, we get out, we get a victory. starting off 2-0 with the rest of that, weeks 3, 4, 5, 6, I think are the ones that are really going to be tough for the Saints. You got a good foothold to kind of survive this first part, and then carry on through the rest of the season. And you sneak a couple in here, especially if you sneak Dallas on the road. I had no hope for more than 8 or 9 wins, but you're going, that was one of the losses I had pegged, and you steal it. You're going, you take care of business in all the games you're favored and try to steal a couple more where you're not. That's how you jumpstart a season into some type of playoff run. So, one other thing, since I really won't have time to watch film or anything, or possibly not in about 24 hours have power to be able to do it, didn't get much of that done. I tried a little bit, just ran out of time. However, one place I'm giving all y'all homework. Um, Give me a thumbs up when you go back and you watch the play, you review it, and you go, huh. Because here's another thing that plays well on the road in the NFL. When you have a guy that can scheme up some interesting stuff and call the right play at the right time and hit a big play when you need to. Third drive, we're up 10-0. This would be the one where we capped it with the touchdown pass from Moreau. There was a 17-yard completion to Chris Olave that I saw, we all saw. That was the big play to him because mostly we didn't need to use him much to beat Carolina. But that was his one big catch in the game. It was at the 5-minute, 12-second mark in the first quarter. I'll give you the personnel. Kamara, Olave, Shaheed, Moreau, Prentice. So you're thinking some type of fullback, tight end set, I formation, kind of straightforward run and play. And this is the last hint I'm going to give you. When they broke huddle, they were in single back. Prentice and Moreau were lined up right off tackle. Moreau was on Fuaga's side. Prentice was on Penning's side. Both receivers split out wide. Right before the snap, they motioned empty because Alvin Kamara went in motion in the left, but he stayed in the backfield. It was just like a parallel motion. Snap the ball, pause it. And here's what you need to be looking for. Look at Moreau and Penning, what they're doing. Actually, you could run it real slow speed a little bit and back and forth here because there's a couple things going on instantly that makes this play that I caught, and that was actually last night, watching it right before I went to bed, some highlights, and I just happened to be looking and saw what Moreau and Fuaga did, and I went, huh. That's when I slowed it down to like half speed and started going back and forth. Prentice and Penning kind of do the same thing on the other side of the formation. It's basically a two-man route with Kamara coming out the backfield. And then once you see the combos of blocking and then the route running and everything they're doing, go back and watch the mid-level and back level of the Carolina defense, where you can't see the safeties too much in the corner. They kind of get taken out when the receivers go downfield. But there's a spot a couple of times where there's defensive players, and they're going to be in the middle of your screen about 5-10 yards off the line of scrimmage, frozen like rocks. One of them is staring right at Foster Moreau and follows line of sight. You can see he's looking right at Foster Moreau like, hey, he's my guy, but he's not coming out in a route. What do I do? There was a couple just frozen, just like, wait, what is this formation? Because I think when you showed the 5 players, skill players you showed, they were thinking power running formation some kind of way. And he came out in a crazy set, and they were still thinking probably, well, they're just still going to run the Camara. He motions to empty, and I think the chaos kind of started. When you rewatch that play, there's a lot to focus on. And I didn't catch any of this on Sunday, but I did catch it last night on the replay. That's the kind of stuff that plays well in the NFL on the road that can, if you can dial up some stuff like that, where you can just, especially when you look at what the tight end, fullback, and the 2 tackles were doing to give them a clean pocket, because they were basically in for a bit. It was basically a 2-man route with Kamara as a check down. And Carolina really didn't cover anybody. So go back and watch it. If you haven't, I'm sure some of y'all may have already noticed, but if you haven't, go find it, go watch it and go, huh, this is the kind of thing that you could maybe, I don't know, it's going to be a tough task. Slow down Micah Parsons so you can do a little bit. If you can get him thinking and stopping and reacting instead of playing that instinctive defense, especially their better defenders, like Parsons, like their corner. They got a couple good corners sitting there. So that if we get enough of that from Kubiak, and of course the execution that we need from the offense, and of course enough of that from DA, who we know use some blitz packages we haven't seen in a while that were very effective, either out and out sacks or lots of pressure that got Mr. Young off a spot, very uncomfortable, and completely took him out the game. I don't know if you can do that to Dax, but you might. So that's the kind of stuff we can do that on both sides of the ball. Our de facto defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen, and our offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, again, schemes, play calling on the road. If you can catch them a little bit, that plays on the road still gives you a chance to win. So I'd say Dallas by a score, but I really think we can be in this game for a long, long time with the possibility of stealing it. And if we would happen to jump out on top of them, like we have done in the past on some good teams, and then let it fade out and not be able to close the game, I at least feel good that I think we have the schemes and the coaching on both sides of the ball to maybe finally put a stop to that happening and going, no, 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 we're not going to fade away and give it away. So that's what I got for you. Like I said, I'm doing this on Tuesday afternoon, probably unless I lose power, but I shouldn't. Knock on wood. Um, I'm going to be finding time tonight, hopefully, to get all this up and posted on Wednesday. So by the time you're watching this, I'll be, probably not able to respond to comments or anything for at least a couple of days. So y'all, y'all do y'all homework. I'm serious. Give me a thumbs up if you kind of when you look at it. All honesty, when you're going, whoa, that was a great design play by Kubiak. Whoa, you bring some of this little magic dust like Mike McDaniels, like Kyle Shanahan can do, and Kubiak sprinkles out a little bit. It can go a long way to helping the Saints win this weekend. So till I see you next time, and I'm hoping Friday I can come back and give you a complete breakdown on Dallas, but it's probably iffy at best. But hopefully by Sunday, I don't know if we can do a post game if everything's going well down here or not. But I I'll hopefully have some chance to at least pop in. Fergus is worried about the storm coming too. He can tell. Um, Hopefully I'll just be able to have a chance to pop in and we can talk a little bit. We'll see how it goes. But until I see you next time, I'm Tim. Peace out. Who dat?